So, one of the biggest things I love to teach when it comes to dog training is the art of doing nothing. It's something that people will tell you when you get a puppy. They'll tell you, make sure you get enough exercise, make sure they get enough walks, make sure they get enough playtime, make sure they get all the exercise, right? And one thing that a lot of people don't teach is you need to teach your dog an off switch. And so people will run their dog and they'll go take it for a walk, they'll go play with it, they'll go to the park, they do all these things, and then they come home and their dog's like, oh my gosh, and they think every time they go outside, they think every time that they do something, it's exciting, they're having fun, they're playing, they're running, they're going 100 miles a minute. So this teaches the dog, this puts the dog in the go, go, go mode, where they're always on the go, they're always running, they're always playing, they're always thinking that they always have to do something. And so what happens is you get this dog and you give it enough exercise, you're giving it loads of exercise, and you're getting home and the dog is still all excited and like, oh my gosh, let's do all the things and let's play, and you're like, oh my gosh, when do you sit down, like when do you rest? And so you're playing with it more, so you're going out for another walk, so you're just constantly on this hamster wheel of exercise and doing all the things for your dog, and the dog's just like, oh my gosh, and it's on this hamster wheel. And we have to teach it to get off that hamster wheel. We have to teach your dog to rest, to have an off switch. And this is one of the most important things I like to teach, especially with puppies, because puppies, when they are puppies, they get into this mode of they're going, going, and we often don't teach that off switch. So they get in, so then the owners get frustrated because they put them in a kennel and they're going nuts and they're not doing anything. They're just not settling. They're not resting. And they're like, and then a lot of people oftentimes is this is when people get rid of their dogs, because they're like, we don't have enough time for our dog. We don't have enough time. We don't have enough time to exercise it. It's too hyper. It's too, okay. So here's the solution to those problems. You have to teach your dog the art of doing nothing. You have to teach your dog to rest, to settle, to relax. And I'm going to go over just a few simple exercises that you can do at home and outside of the home to help your dog have an off switch. So the first one is having your dog settle in the house. So if you get home from a walk, from an exercise, and your dog is still very excited, very like, let's do all these things. So what you will want to do is you will want to put the leash on the dog. So maybe you get home from the walk and you still keep the leash on, and the dog is on the leash. And so what you'll do is you will just sit on the couch and you'll have the dog next to you on the floor. If you want them up on the couch, they can, but I think it's best to just have them learn on the floor until like they've rested. So you can, if you want to put a blanket down, you can. If you want to just have them next to you, if you want to have them on their bed, especially if they're tired and they've just been worked out, they may be a little bit hot, so they don't want to lay in a blanket or a bed. So I think the best exercise here, or the best solution here, is you put them on a leash, you have them sit down, and they're gonna be like, well, I'm still on a leash, like what are we doing? And you're just gonna sit back on the couch or sit on maybe at your desk while you're checking emails or working or whatever your lifestyle is. Maybe it's time for you to just relax and watch TV. Maybe you want to sit on your phone and scroll. Maybe you want to read a book. Whatever your lifestyle is, you want to teach them how to be in your lifestyle and interact. So you're going to have them on the leash. You're just going to have them sit. And you're not going to ask them to sit. You're not going to ask them to lay down. You are asking nothing of them. You are just having them on the leash, and you don't want them to pace. The biggest thing is you don't want them to pace, because that's going to build up anxiety. So if you do notice them pacing, that's when you kind of bring in some commands. But the biggest thing you're going to do is just hang out. simply, you have the leash, maybe you're holding on to it, maybe it's connected to you, maybe it's just next to you, and you're just simply hanging out, doing nothing. You're not interacting. You don't have to pet them, because I don't want them to think that every time they settle, they need to be pet. You just simply hang out. You relax. You do and you start with something small, like 10 minutes where you have an off switch. And then eventually, what you'll see is the dog will be like, and just like sit down. And you're like, yes. And then like that's when you're like, and you don't want to get like overly excited. It's so easy to be like, they sat down, and then we get them excited, and then they're up in excited mode. So you just kind of let them be. Like, if they do sit down, you can be like, good job, good boy, good girl, in a calm manner, not to get them excited. And then they sit down. Maybe they even lay down. The ultimate goal is you want them to lay down and rest for a good amount of time, for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, for 15. And you build on this duration each time. And you're simply doing the art of doing nothing. And then what you'll find is that your 5-minute practice of you basically and like having like, okay, like, we're gonna settle, and like you can say that too, like, we're gonna settle, like, nope, settle down. Like, if they're barking or whining or pacing, like, settle down, come here, like, just, relax. And then you notice that they sit. Good job, you're settling. Just kind of let them settle, let them relax. And then you can also do this out at a park. You want to do this at home first to teach them that settle training and the art of doing nothing at home first. And then you will start to incorporate this art of doing nothing training outside with distractions. You'll start in your yard, in your garden, in your backyard, and then you'll start at a park or at another venue where you're just settling and relaxing. And then the ultimate goal here is what you'll be able to do once this dog has that off switch. This is when you can incorporate picnics, and you can incorporate outdoor dining experiences with your dog, and your dog can simply learn how to settle and to be neutral around distractions and be neutral and just relax. So before this video gets too long, before I get too complicated into it, the ultimate goal is teaching your dog the art of doing nothing, teaching them to settle, teaching them to relax. And if you have questions on this training, message me or hit subscribe and follow for more on this training. And if you want to follow my Facebook page, it is under Soulful Dogs with a Z, on Facebook and Instagram for all the things. So I also do offer Zoom sessions and just a Zoom one-on-one call for a download of information. So if you want more, definitely check out my Facebook page, and thanks for watching.